On the eve of the 89th legislative special session, a relatively small group of protesters gathered in Austin earlier outside of the governor's mansion and on the Capitol grounds. So most in attendance there say they are against the session's timing as families are still reeling from the catastrophic floods in central Texas. Governor Greg Abbott called for a special session earlier this month prior to the disaster. Now, new flood warning systems are expected to become part of the dialogue. The Texas Legislature convenes every 2 years. A regular session lasts 140 days, and that was just adjourned on June 2nd. But Governor Abbott thought there was still work to be done on a variety of issues, ranging from redrawing some of the congressional district lines to regulating the sale of hemp-derived products. 30 days is all they have to accomplish their business in a special session. However, if everything doesn't get done, the governor does have the authority to call another. Everyone is being asked, meantime, to wear green tomorrow in honor of flood victims. Fox 4's Amelia Jones is live tonight with what we can expect. A lot of work ahead, Amelia.
That's right, Casey, and as you've been saying, not a lot of time to do it. This legislative special session will begin tomorrow at noon. Governor Greg Abbott released an agenda with 18 items he'd like lawmakers to discuss over the next 30 days, and it includes some of those big topics, like you mentioned, regarding flood warning systems and natural disaster preparation and recovery, hemp-derived product regulation, but it also includes topics like the STAR test, human trafficking, and property taxes. Lawmakers will report to Austin for the start of a special session on Monday. Governor Greg Abbott released a jam-packed agenda. A top priority is the historic flooding in central Texas. Lawmakers are set to discuss flood warning systems, flood emergency communications, relief funding, and natural disaster preparation and recovery.
And I really think that's something that's going to be a rallying point for both sides of the aisle. The other items, probably not so much. I think those are going to be contentious.
Angela Downs is an assistant director at the University of North Texas Dallas College of Law. She believes the other agenda items, like THC regulation, could spark heated debate. Governor Abbott vetoed the bill passed in the regular session that would have essentially banned the sale of all THC products, which was a priority of Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. During the special session, the governor wants a more nuanced ban because THC products are popular with veterans and other groups. Abbott wants to focus on keeping THC products away from kids.
Surely, I don't know how this will go, but if it's any indication from the regular session, I think it's going to be very, very heated.
Another hot-button issue on the 18-item agenda is redistricting. Governor Abbott says, according to a letter from the Department of Justice, there are constitutionality issues with the current maps.
In the administration's view, the existing Texas map constitutes an unconstitutional racial gerrymander, meaning that the legislators who drew the existing map, in the view of the administration, improperly relied on race as a criterion in drawing that map.
David Fromkin is an expert in election law from the University of Houston. He says lawmakers who created the maps have denied any racial gerrymandering. President Trump told reporters on Tuesday he wants to pick up 5 more Republican seats from the state of Texas.
If Republicans had simply said, we have a political objective, then they would be fine under existing gerrymandering law. On the other hand, because they've taken the position that they are correcting a racial problem with the existing map, they have opened the door to plaintiffs coming along and suing them on the grounds that they are the ones who have entered into this process with a racial objective in mind.
Fromkin says he'll be watching to see how incumbent Republican lawmakers react to this discussion.
Their seats could be threatened. If there's a wave election, they may stand to lose their seats under the new plan. And so I think that a lot of the stakeholders under the current map have good reason to resist the change on both sides of the aisle. So that will be interesting to watch.
It's a lot to tackle in 30 days.
So there's so many things to look at, STAR test, human trafficking, property taxes, so many items. I don't know that the legislature will be able to get through all of them. And the governor might decide that there needs to be an additional special session.
Starting tomorrow, we'll see how quickly lawmakers can make it through that 18-item agenda. Casey, as you mentioned, lawmakers are encouraged to wear green in honor of the flood victims. For now, back to you.
Yeah, it is going to be a busy couple of weeks, and we are on top of it all. Fox 4's Amelia Jones reporting live for us tonight. Amelia, thanks so much.